Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Van Merkel at Take Two Healthcare. It's great to be with you this day. There's beautiful sunshiny April 25th, and hopefully you're doing everything you can to be healthy, to maybe avoid exposure. And we're going to talk about more in-depth things, but hopefully you're wearing your mask. When I'm out in public, when I'm at the grocery store, I wear a mask. Don't know how critical it is. When I'm out at Home Depot, I put a mask on. It makes people more comfortable, I think. I know some people don't wear it, some people do. I do it because I don't want you to feel uncomfortable around me. And the idea of a mask, I think there's several things. One, the main point of a mask is it keeps your junk from floating out into everywhere else. So you wear a mask to protect everybody else, and they wear a mask to protect you. That's the idea. And they found, and I reported earlier in previous shows, that even a t-shirt over your mouth just to keep your droplets from spraying out everywhere can reduce as much as 50%. So wear a mask. And some of the masks I see are not that great, but they do keep you from projecting your stuff out on everybody else. Like if they're wearing one, they're wearing to protect you. Another good thing I like about the mask is it keeps you from touching your face. Because that's where most of these problems occur, is people are touching things, they're out shopping and things like that, and then people are always, touching their mouth and playing with their eyes and filling with their nose and stuff like that. So a mask helps reduce the exposure to you by inhibiting your ability to touch your face, your nose, your mouth. So wear a mask, and glasses also keep you from wearing that too. So that's all a good thing. And if you are obviously in an area where in a medical facility where there's high levels of people with COVID, then you need the more involved mask. Here at our clinic, we are open. We are seeing patients. What we recommend is that people wear their mask when they come into the clinic, get treated or whatever they need. Our doctors are all masked up. Our staff's all masked up. We're wiping things down. We're doing our best to help you stay healthy. If people come to our clinic and they need things, the door's locked, by the way, so you just can't walk in. No offense, we're not worried about you, but we just wanted to limit how many people come in and kind of direct that kind of thing. If you need products and things like that, our staff will run them out to you. No problem. So wear a mask. I think it does put people at ease a little bit. And one of the things I want to talk about is an article that was reported on the White House yesterday. And I was pretty excited about it. And it was released on April 24th. And it says right here that sunlight and humidity kill the coronavirus the fastest, according to U.S. scientists. Sunlight and humidity. Interesting. Well, let's see. U.S. scientists say coronavirus dies the fastest when it is exposed to direct sunlight, which fortunately today we got a lot of sunlight here in Dayton, Ohio. And is there any harm in sunshine? If you were to go out and take a hour walk today, is there any harm in that? Versus the danger of the COVID virus. What would you rather get? Maybe a little tan, like I'm a little tan, something like that, or risk COVID-19? Coronavirus dies fast when it is exposed to direct sunlight. Moving on. It's a powerful effect that solar light appears to have on killing the virus, both on surfaces and in the air. We've seen a similar effect with both temperature and humidity as well. Where if you increase the temperature and humidity, both are less favorable to the survival of the virus. It has long been known that ultraviolet light has a sterilizing effect because the radiation damages the virus's genetic material and its ability to replicate. It's been known for years that works. Now, I know there's the World Health Organization comes out and says, well, that's not true because places like Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand still have problems with coronavirus. Well, there's some difference between Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore compared to the United States. We have, I'm not saying they don't, but I don't believe anybody has a better system of hygiene. We have flush toilets, we have clean water, safe water, as well as other things to keep our environment clean. Our air is pure than in some of these countries, as well as just overall hygiene and cleanliness. So I honestly believe that as the weather gets warmer and humidity goes up, the virus is going to go away, just like it's happened with SARS, H1N1, bird flu, all those other things. That SARS killed more people than the COVID, and it went away. There's no SARS vaccine now because it went away when the weather got nice. So, is it possible that the cold weather, cold and low humidity, helps the environment? Helps the virus to spread. Okay? Now also, older people are dying. Older people are in nursing homes. Are they getting out into the sunshine? No. You're going to find out, or we talked about before, that Italy, Spain, and some other countries are having high rates of virus deaths. In fact, Italy's got one of the highest in the world. But they also have a lot of old people, and old people tend to what? Not get out. They also tend to get all their flu shots. We're going to talk about that in a minute too. Okay, so moving on. Let's see. This is pretty cool. In high humidity environment, the half-life of the virus, COVID-19, coronavirus, half-life dropped to 6 hours. When the virus is exposed to high humidity and sunlight, the half-life dropped to 2 minutes. But when exposed to direct sunlight, the virus lost half its strength in 90 seconds. Being exposed to sunlight reduced the virus in half in 90 seconds, called a half-life. Reduced in half. So another 90 seconds is basically gone. 90 seconds, it lost half its strength. So the safest place you could be is not in your house, it's outside. It is outside. Wow, pretty amazing. And we're gonna go right into more vitamin D stuff. And vitamin D. Okay, yeah, this is the article. Vitamin D. This is Wall Street Journal. Right there, you can see that. Wall Street Journal, April 17th, 2019. April 27th, 2019. And it says, supplements may promote immunity, especially in people with darker skin. And this is Vatsal Thakur. He's a black gentleman. He says, black Americans are dying of COVID-19 at a higher rate than whites. And a factor that has been largely overlooked is vitamin D deficiency that weakens the immune system. And they found that the nations with the highest mortality rates, Italy, Spain, and France, also had the lowest average vitamin D levels among countries affected by the pandemic. Italy. You'd think that's in a warm climate, but they had the lowest levels of vitamin D, also one of the highest aged populations. So think, okay, they're not getting vitamin D, they're older, which means they're probably on more medications, right? Now remember that we're going to talk about factors that increase your risk of dying from the COVID virus. So they found that nations with the highest mortality had the lowest vitamin D levels. And many Americans are low in vitamin D, but those with darker skin are at a particular disadvantage because melanin, makes your skin dark, inhibits the vitamin D's production. And compared with my white friends, he says, I need double or triple the sun exposure, because he's dark, I need double or triple the sun exposure to synthesize the same amount of vitamin D. So this black gentleman supplements 5,000 ionization units daily. 5,000 units daily. And now he's a lighter skinned person. He says people with even darker skin might need even more. So at least 5,000 you ought to be taking every day, as well as getting out in the sun. Taking vitamin D, make sure your body has what it needs. Getting out in the sun, make sure that what's ever around is being killed. Sounds like a good idea. Okay. Vitamin D supplementation in African Americans reduced cancer by 23%. When African Americans, black people, took vitamin D at 5,000 IU units a day, it reduced cancer by 23%. But a healthy immune system destroys viruses and toxic injuries. And there's evidence that low vitamin D levels make the immune system go blind. History can be an example. A 2009 study examined sun exposure fatality rates during the 2018-2019 Spanish flu. Now, the Spanish flu killed an estimated 50 million people worldwide. And at that time, antivirals, vaccines, intensive care units, and ventilators did not exist. So U.S. erected emergency hospitals, one of which was at Camp Brooks in Massachusetts. It was unique because it had an outdoor recovery unit. The mortality rate for patients there fell from 40% to 13% when the patients were moved outside. Just moving the patients outside in the sunlight reduced mortality from 40 to 13%. That is astounding. That is absolutely astounding. Now I go on a quote. Sunlight may have proved to be literally the best disinfectant. The best disinfectant. Wow, that is amazing. So vitamin D helps your body get well. Being out in the sun helps your body get vitamin D, but it also is the best disinfectant in maintaining your body's health. You're listening to Dr. Merkel at Take Two Healthcare. We got to take a break right now. Our office, you call 937-433-3241, or go to our website at Take Two Healthcare. You can spell however you want, www.take2healthcare.com. We're here to help you, and we'll be right back after this break. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Van Merkel. We are back. It's great to be with you this day, this 25th day of April. I am Dr. Van Merkel, Doctor of Chiropractic. I'm board certified in clinical nutrition. Got a couple other certifications. Our goal, our mission is to help you be healthier. I've been right here behind this marvelous microphone at WHIO for over 35 years. I've been in practice, 25 years. Behind this microphone, 25 years. I've been in practice more than 35 years. I hate to think how many more, but at least 35 years. And it has truly been an honor, a blessing to help so many of you with your health problems over the years. And that's why we have the radio show, to help you be healthier. I know there's a health crisis right now, and there are things you can do. You just learned about one. Take vitamin D, get outside. It's going to help your body get healthier. The ultraviolet light, sunlight kills the viruses, and taking vitamin D helps your body strengthen itself. And that vitamin D, not only does it help you with COVID-19, it helps you with any respiratory problem. And I don't know if I can find a study right now, but basically, people who have severe respiratory problems, even hospitalized, they all do better if their vitamin D levels are optimized up to 70 units rather than down to 20 or 30 like is recommended or normal. We recommend you get up closer to 70 units. Now, who gets who gets COVID D? All right. 85% of people who get COVID D and get sick from it and are hospitalized. Let me correct that. 85% of people who get COVID D and are hospitalized, they have 2 or more pre-existing conditions. They call them comorbidities, but you have 2 or more diseases. The most common diseases are high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes. But there's also asthma, lung diseases, things like that, and other heart disease. But if you're on these, if you have these conditions, you are on medication. Every medication affects your liver and reduces your overall immune system. The more medications you take, the lower your immune system is. So you need to take more vitamins to help your body be healthier. Did you get that? The more vitamins you take, the sicker you are, the lower your immune system, the greater your risk of COVID-D. So, on the TV, one of the medical doctors on said, that's the key to everything. These flu viruses, the COVID virus, is to get people healthy. And she said, if you're on medication, you're more susceptible to the COVID. So get your body healthy. Start doing something to be healthier. And here's something I wrote the other day. Get healthy, stay healthy. The strength of your immune system is the most significant determinant of whether or not you get sick from COVID-19 or any other cold or flu viruses. We know that those with poor health are experiencing the worst outcomes. A few simple vitamins to boost your immune system might just help you weather this crisis. The healthier you are, the better outcomes you will have, period. Let me say that again. The healthier you are, the better outcomes you will have, period. So clean up your diet. And at Take 2 Healthcare, we have a simple protocol, some vitamins that you can take on a regular basis to optimize and boost your immune system, which we can drop ship right to your door, by the way. So, obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, asthma, lung diseases, all are at greater risk. And you hear people, doctors and nurses dying, and all these emergency response people. You know, they're sick just like everybody else. I think half the people over 50 are on at least 2 medications. They're on 2 medications, which means they're sick. They're already sick, and their immune system is being lowered every time they take those medications. It makes them more susceptible to everything, including the COVID virus. There are some other things you should be aware of. So 85% of people who are hospitalized have at least 2 pre-existing health conditions. But something else here, smoking causes lung inflammation. Anything you do that increases lung inflammation is going to accelerate and make you more susceptible to COVID-19. So, smoking, vaping, e-cigarettes, all those things are flat out bad. If you're smoking anything, it's bad. So stop smoking, because it is increasing your risk from lung inflammation, which also goes to think, are you in an environment where there's a lot of chemicals and fumes? That's going to make you more susceptible. So think about those things. Okay, and the protocol we had. And my friend Jim, he's recovering nicely, but he was on the vitamins we've talked about. Okay, 85% or more. Now, again, I talk about people who are in nursing homes are at greatest risk because they're older, they're on medications, their health is not good, and they're probably not getting outside. So those are the ones going to be affected most, and that is why we're going through all of this, for the most part, all of this mask wearing and isolation is to protect the oldest people and the sickest people who are at greater risk of dying from it. So what do we need to do? Get our population healthy so we don't have so much risk of death. Very few young people are dying. And let me say, if you hear young people dying, are they vaping? Are they on medication? Do they have autoimmune disorders? Autoimmune disease where they are on immune suppressive drugs? You hear of babies and infants. I would bet that any infant that's dying has a multitude of health factors. I would say, first of all, what was the health of the mother? Was she, and I'm just guessing here, but I would suspect that if a baby dies from COVID, that the mother was probably on drugs, cocaine, meth, or on other drugs for whatever condition. And probably the child was also, the mother, which provides nutrients to the baby, was probably low in vitamin D as well, which makes them more susceptible too. So I believe that if you hear of any young people dying, there's comorbidities and other factors there that we don't know about. Now there's one here. Let me see if I can find it. One very important one. And I talked about it before. Let me grab it here. Okay, here it is. I'm missing part of it. Let's see, not that. Okay. Here's the article, and I'll find the other part of it here in a minute. Those who received a flu shot, were 36 more likely to contact coronavirus infection, and 51% more likely to contract HPV. not HMPV, which is a human metapneumovirus. So, if you take a flu shot, you are more susceptible to catching. If you take a flu shot, you're more susceptible to contracting coronavirus. Now, just hold on. I got to find this article here because it is so important what it's got to say about it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I got it. Woohoo! There it is. This, and I've written on the top here, is it possible that getting a flu shot makes you more susceptible to COVID-19 with a worse outcome? Now, this study was done by Greg Wolf of the Armed Forces Surveillance Branch Air Force Satellite, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. What? Wright-Patterson Air Force Base? Yeah, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, just a few miles from Dayton. This is where the study was done, and the point of the study was to determine if receiving a flu vaccine, increases the risk of other respiratory viruses, a phenomenon known as virus interference. Virus interference. The idea is if you take a flu shot, it doesn't make you more susceptible to other viruses. Now, I've talked to so many people, and my mom has never had a flu shot, but so many patients over the years said, they finally broke down, got a flu shot, and they never got so sick. Never got the flu ever as bad as they did after they got the flu shot. Well, here's possible some of the reasons for it. It's called vaccine interference. It means if you take, let's say your body has 100 units of immune system, and you get a flu shot. Now, a flu shot dedicates, let's say, 70% of those of your immune units to one type of flu virus. So you get that shot, you're now, maybe if it's effective, and I've said before in previous lectures, that the actual studies show that a flu shot is at best effective in 1 out of 100 people. In 1 out of 100 people. And I could go back and show you. Go back to my previous shows, you can find that article. 1 out of 100 is all it protects. But is it possible taking that flu shot that is dedicated 70% of your immune system to finding only that one type of flu now leaves you wide open to the COVID and all the other flus and all the other stuff out there? That's what it's showing. That's what it's showing. And it says it's called vaccine interference. You do an immunity to one, it makes you more susceptible to these others, to the tune of examining vaccine interference was getting a flu shot, which caused vaccine interference, showed, was significantly associated, that vaccine interference from the flu shot was significantly associated with coronavirus and metahuman pneumovirus, to the tune that people who got a seasonal flu shot were 36% more likely to get to coronavirus and 51% more likely to contract human pneumovirus. Human metapneumovirus. You're more susceptible when you get the flu shot. 30% more likely to get coronavirus and 51% more likely to get pneumonia. Who gets more flu shots? Who gets the most flu shots? Old people do. Old people do. So is it possible that old people dying in nursing homes have several factors? One, they're low in vitamin D. They're not getting outside. And getting outside helps kill the viruses around them as well as boost their immune system. They're also getting more flu shots, which makes them 30% more susceptible than people like me who never get flu shots. You're more susceptible to getting coronavirus if you had a flu shot. So remember that and think about that next year when they start promoting the flu virus for a little flu, which may have a little sniffle and a little cold for a few days, because healthy people don't die from the flu. Healthy people do not die from the flu. Only sick people who have cofactors, comorbidities, other health problems die from the flu, but no one healthy dies from the flu. Only sick people die from the flu. Okay, so we're talking about the flu vaccine and how bad it is. Well, they're looking to get a coronavirus vaccine. If you can see that there, coronavirus vaccine will bypass safety testing, and they're going to forego normal required safety testing in order to get a coronavirus vaccine out as quick as possible. Is that a good idea? Well, it'll still be a year before the vaccine comes out, so you might as well start taking vitamin D, getting healthy, and getting off your meds. Now, when I say get off your meds, I'm not saying stop your drugs, because if you got high blood pressure, you need to be on those blood pressure drugs until you get your body healthy enough that you don't need it any longer. So you need to go out there now and start getting healthy so you don't need those drugs any longer. Wow. Hey, now, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the potential risk of taking the flu vaccine. The corona vaccine. You're listening to Dr. Merkel at Take Two Healthcare. Our office number is 433-3241. We'll be right back after this break. I'm Dr. Merkel. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Van Merkel. We are back, and it's great to be with you this marvelous April 25th. It's sun shining out, and hopefully you'll go out and do it just like we talked about. Sunshine is phenomenal in that it actually directly kills the virus. Wow. But what about a vaccine? Okay, there's some very important things we need to consider here at the vaccine. It'll still be a year before a coronavirus vaccine is available, if ever. Fast-tracking vaccines has considerable risk. It might be it might be ineffective, which is typically the case for your seasonal flu vaccine. They're not effective. As I said, 1 out of 100 if it works. Or it might cause serious side effects, as was the case with the fast-tracked swine flu vaccine back in 2009. Or it just might worsen the infection rather than prevent it. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about technology first. Technology being used is to make an experimental vaccine quickly has not yielded a single immunization that made it to market so far. So do you want to be in first in line for something that's never been tested before? But even more than that, understand that considering the COVID infection has a high survival rate, in fact, the studies are showing in the United States that less than 1% of the population, people who get COVID-19, are dying from it. Less than 1%. And that when you think that 85% of the people who are being hospitalized have comorbidities, they have extenuating health problems that has contributed toward it. Maybe they got a flu shot. They're on multiple drugs. They have high blood pressure, all these things. So considering that COVID-19 has such a high survival rate, does it really make sense to get a vaccine for something that is so mild and minimal for most of us? As I said, my friend in New Jersey, where they shut half the plant down because half the people working there had the virus, he got a little sick. Oh, by the way, what's one of the common signs now the CDC has included? A loss of smell and loss of taste. Loss of smell, loss of taste. And my friend, as he was driving home, he said, yeah, they just shut the plant down. He said he's got chills and fever, and he lost his sense of smell and taste. Since half his plant had it, he figured he had it too. He had a fever, difficulty breathing, things like that. Not severe enough to go to the hospital. But I warned him, if he got bad, he needs to go to the hospital immediately. But he was being careful, taking care of things, and he took the vitamins that we recommended. Vitamin D, zinc, lorcidin, those things. I'll tell you about those here in just a minute. But he's also on some heart medication. So he did get sick, not severely, but he did get pretty sick. His wife lost her sense of taste and lost of smell and had a very minimal fever and got over it. His son, 20 years old, lost his sense of taste and smell, but no other symptoms. So more than likely, they all three had it because he had those classic symptoms of no taste and no smell. Now, they've all got their sense of taste and smell back, but that's a common sign of COVID-19. Okay, so with such a high survival rate, is it really worth the risk of doing that? Okay, is it wise to use the outbreak as a testing ground for untested vaccine manufacturing methods? Okay, fast-tracking vaccines is risky business. As I said, it may be ineffective. It may cause serious side effects like the swine flu vaccine. But there's also something else really important. Something really important here. Studies have suggested that coronavirus vaccines carry the risk of what is known as vaccine enhancement, where instead of protecting against infection, the vaccine actually makes the disease worse when a vaccinated person is infected with the virus. The mechanism to cause that risk is not fully understood, but is a stumbling block in developing the coronavirus vaccine, which means if you take the coronavirus vaccine, it may make you more susceptible to it. Like I just explained about the flu virus. People get the flu vaccine, and I've had many patients say that they got the flu worse after the vaccine than they ever did before. Vaccine interference may make you more susceptible to the very disease you're trying to prevent. The vaccine may make you more susceptible to the very disease you're trying to prevent and may have worse outcomes with it. So, and it goes on and reports in Reuters that some vaccinated animals got sicker than unvaccinated animals when exposed to the virus. Let me read that again. Some vaccinated animals got sicker than unvaccinated animals when exposed to the virus. Wow, scary. So, if there were an outbreak of a disease, a serious disease with rapid and horrific and extremely lethal, such as with Ebola, where the mortality rate can be as high as 50%, many people would be willing to risk lifelong side effects from fast-track vaccine rather than risking death. I can understand that. Risk the side effects or 50% die. Those aren't very good odds either way. So, but that's not what we're facing. We're not talking about 50% death rate like with COVID, or 40% like they had in the early 1900s from cholera. This is something else, where the risk of dying from it is less than 1%. Would you want to take a vaccine that may make it worse, that may make you more susceptible to other problems, when you can take a few vitamins, get some sunlight, some vitamin D, and it'll go away by itself? And well, let's go back again. The flu vaccine may increase the risk of coronavirus. In a seasonal flu shot, you're 36% more likely to contract coronavirus infection, and 51% more likely to contract the human metapneumovirus. That flu virus increases your risk of getting COVID by 31% and getting pneumonia by over 50%. So what are you going to do next year when they start talking about flu shots? You going to line up, or you going to say, I think I'll take some vitamin D? In fact, there was a study years ago that people who take vitamin D have better outcomes than people who take the flu shot. That's absolutely true. There's studies done several years ago, but you never hear about them. Why not? Why don't you hear about these things? Because there's so much money in vaccines right now. There's so much money in vaccines that the country wants you to take vaccines rather than take vitamin D and get out in the sun. So anyway, get your vitamin D. Now, there's some other things that we recommend you do. You got to take vitamins. Absolutely. In our culture, our country today, you need to take vitamins. And I've already talked about vitamin D and how you should all be taking 5,000 inhalations of vitamin D. Zinc is tremendous for lung problems and help fight viruses. So vitamin D and zinc. Now, there's other vitamins too. And we have a product called SBN Daily 8. Am I presenting that right? SBN Daily 8. And it has, for the daily dose, you're going to get a couple packets for each day like this. And they have your AM pack and your PM pack. Now, these vitamins, there's a few vitamins there, but you don't take them all at once. You take maybe 4 at breakfast and 4 at lunch, and then take these in the afternoon, and they're all down. And with that, you're going to get 5,000 inhalations of vitamin D. You're going to get zinc, and you got your fish oils, some magnesium, some vitamin C, and things like that you need. And then also, Lorcidin is one of the strongest natural antibacterial, antiviral nutrients antifungal, bacterial, and antifungal nutrients we've ever found. It is great for any viral infection. We use it a lot for shingles and various herpes infections, things like that, strep throat, stuff like that. This is great. and it had been out of supply here in the area for quite a while, and we do have supply right now. And contact our office, and we get that to you. Now, there are other products out there and other nutrients. Turmeric and ginger. Turmeric and ginger are both very strong, very good natural antiviral products, antiviral nutrients. And I put together a product a few years ago called SBNCC, Curcumin Complex. Curcumin is turmeric, and the active part. And this product has also bioflavonoids and vitamin C. All four are tremendous antiviral nutrients. So our protocol to help people fight infection, we have listed right here. It should be on the internet. It should be on our website, but this is it right here. It includes Curcumin Complex, and it's got the dosages there, how many to take to avoid getting it. If you're worried about it right now, it tells you to take 6 a day. Lauricidin, 2 scoops of lauricidin, vitamin D, and zinc. Very important. Now, there's also some other things, and if you get it, then you're going to crank it up a little bit. It's got all that listed here in the notes. Some other things that are important to help kill viruses. Copper destroys viruses and bacteria. Copper. Yeah, copper door handles, bronze, things like that, all kill viruses and bacteria. In fact, people way back in the 1800s, a cholera epidemic that killed millions of people, that people worked in copper industries, their death rate was way below what was common. So if they were working in copper industries, they didn't have it. Copper is antimicrobial. It kills bacteria and viruses within minutes. They're shown to kill a long list of microbes, including MRSA, staph bacteria, norovirus, and they have become resistant to antibiotics. It kills virulent strains of E. coli. Copper does. Copper does. And it's been shown that if hospitals would use this, that their hospital-acquired infections would go way down. And it showed that using copper with standard hygiene protocols has been shown to reduce bacteria in healthcare settings by 90%. And they found that hospital doorknobs made of brass barely had any E. coli on them compared to stainless steel knobs, which were heavily colonized. And so copper should be used on lots of things. Copper will also kill COVID-19. And COVID-19, as they say, the virus is gone after just 4 hours on copper, versus up to, up to 3 days. The virus can live up to 3 days on things like plastics and stainless steel, but it could only live 4 hours on copper, doorknobs and such. Okay, and a couple interesting things. The handrails on the train stations in New York are copper for a specific reason. Atlanta Airport now has 50 water bottle filling stations are now made with copper. And they talk about how this using copper in hospital setting could be dramatic. The cost of treating one hospital-acquired infection ranged from $28,000 to $33,000 per patient. But installing copper on 10% of the surfaces in a hospital would cost like $52,000 and prevent 14 infections over the course of just 1 year. Actually, less than a year. So putting copper is very important. And here's the thing. Copper, and I quote, never loses its microbial killing abilities. Hospitals will quickly be saving money and lives. So copper. You should be get your door handles and things used with copper. And copper works whether it's wet or dry. And if the copper turns green, oxidizing, it still works. So continue to do it. There's another product I like to use. This one right here. And it is Colloidal Silver. You can buy it on the internet. And I bought some just recently. And it comes in a spray. See this thing when I spray it? Can you see that in front of me? It aerosolizes. And so I like to use this for cuts and scrapes and burns and stuff. But I also use it for inhaling. You don't drink it. You don't swallow it. For this kills, mercury kills everything. Bacteria, viruses, and mold. It kills everything on contact, but it needs to be in a liquid form. So what I like to do is I do this about 2 to 4 times a day. See how it sprays? I'm going to you need to take a deep breath in through your nose when you do it. So you close your mouth and you breathe in deeply through your nostril when you breathe. I usually give 2 shots each one. So it's like, and then you'll do that real quick. And then you tip your head back, let all that go to the back of your sinuses, so it clears up all those sinuses, and you tip your head back, because when you lean your head forward, some of it's going to come out your nose. But you need to breathe in deep so it covers all those sinus cavities and all those little crooks and nannies, and then hold your head back just to let it kill the bacteria and do its job. So get this, you can buy it online. So this is part of our protocol. It's not listed there, but it's one of the things that you can do to help kill off the viruses that are floating around. There are things you can do to help kill the viruses that are just floating around are drink hot water. Put some salt in it, gargle with it. Salt is going to kill the bacteria. Drinking hot water and swallowing everything that's in your mouth goes in your gut. And trust me, those viruses can't survive the stomach acid. So just drink sips of water throughout the day. Warm water would be a good thing. Say, I'm Dr. Merkel. It's time to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this quick message. And we're back, everyone. This is Dr. Merkel with Take Two Healthcare. And we're here to help you be healthier. My office is located in Royal Swiss Village, south of Dayton. And we'd love to help you with your health problems. Now, if you just heard the radio, there's a public service announcement. They were wondering, can people get the coronavirus again if they have recovered from it? We don't know. But what they're saying is it doesn't mean you can't get it again. So if you get COVID and recover, it doesn't mean you can't get it again, which tells you you should do what? Get healthier. You need to get healthier. You need to start taking the vitamins we've talked about. Take your vitamin D. Do the things you know you should do. Get out in the sun. These type of things, and your risk of getting COVID again are going to go down. So you got to do these things. It's not going to happen. Your body's immune system is low, which is why you got so sick the first time. And if you didn't do something to fix the problem, you're going to get it or something else later down the road. Because do you really think this is the last time something bad's going to come around? Over the years, we've had swine flu, we've had SARS, we've had all these different things, and now we got COVID-19. Are you going to just stick your head in the sand and hope it doesn't happen again? Or are you going to start doing some things to help you get healthier? And that's what we're here for. Our goal, our mission, our purpose is to help you get healthier. And I know it's about time to go, but I encourage you to take the vitamins we recommended. The Daily 8, it's got your vitamin D, your zinc, your other vitamins, your fish oils and magnesium and multivitamin, trace minerals, things like that. Take your SBNCC, it's got your ginger. Take your lorcidin. Get outside. Get outside, get your fresh air in your lungs. Get some sunshine. Don't be phobic about it. Just don't get a sunburn. As you can tell, I got a nice tan. So I believe a tan is a good thing. If you're black, you need more vitamin D. Absolutely, you need vitamin D. If you got children, make sure that they're on vitamin D because they need it too. So there's a lot of things you can do to be healthier, and that's what we do. And one of the things we also recommend is you get tested. It's good to take these vitamins as recommended, but maybe there's some deficiencies, imbalances, or toxicities that is driving an underlying poor health situation. Healthy people don't get sick. But if you're on these meds, if you're on blood pressure meds, cholesterol meds, if you're on blood thinners, things like that, I guarantee you there are things you can do to get healthier with the goal of getting healthy enough that you don't need the meds. And if you don't need the meds, don't you think you're healthier now and your body's going to be able to fight these viruses and bacteria better? I'm 63. I don't take any vaccines. I've never been on any prescription drugs and no over-the-counter meds for probably 30 years. And am I worried about getting the COVID flu or anything like that? Not really. I take all the vitamins that I'm recommending. I eat right. I'm healthy. As I said, the strength of your immune system is the most significant determinant of whether or not you get sick from COVID-19 or any other cold and flu virus. We know that those with poor health are experiencing the worst outcomes. A simple few vitamins, like I talked about, to boost your immune system might just help you weather this crisis. The healthier you are, the better outcomes you will have. So clean up your diet. And at Take Two Healthcare, we've got that protocol, and you can get healthier. But really, it's up to you. It is up to you. If you want to be healthy, get a strong immune system so you don't get sick, we can help. So, like I say every Saturday, as I end the program, do something today to be healthier than you were yesterday. Take a walk, get out in the sun, take some vitamin D. Call and talk to your friends. They need some support and help too. And take some vitamins, eat healthier. And by the way, be sure and pray for our country. Goodbye, everyone. I'm Dr. Van Merkel.